Welcome to another edition of the Instant Wrestling Report, alongside my partner, Alberto Del Rio N. You thought we just used it for the funny video. No.
It's Destiny. Told you guys.
Going to run down our 2011 WWE SummerSlam review. Very unpredictable night of some really great action and really great stuff on this SummerSlam pay-per-view. First matchup, we had a six-man tag match between Miz, Alberto Del Rio R-Truth, and Mysterio, Kofi, Kingston, and John Morrison.
Yeah, you know, they had Miz come out and get on the mic and say, WrestleMania, you know, headline WrestleMania, I should be on this. And then Truth came out and said it was a conspiracy, he wasn't on it. And then Del Rio just came out and didn't say anything. He just came out and was just, the crowd was super into him.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then you obviously find out that this, you know, the other three faces that they were possibly going to face in, you know, at this
Singles,
night,
yeah.
Singles guy, you know, they ended up doing a six-man, which I thought was a really good idea, you know, instead of trying to cram it in singles matches in here. You know, just a fun match overall, you know, good spots. Each guy in here, you know, had some good spots, had, you know, it was good fun mostly overall, you know, highlighted certain guys' things, you know, didn't make anybody look that bad, but, you know, the faces getting the win here. Mysterio not being used too much. He was, I think, you know, maybe is still hurting a little bit. Maybe he's trying to heal up a little. Yeah. But, you know, Mysterio getting the win with a splash off the top to R-Truth. And, you know, overall, pretty good opener, and I was excited. It got me going for the show.
Yeah, exactly.
So
really made a lot of sense with putting these guys in this six-man, as he said, you know, instead of the singles matches. We got them all focused on in there. And also made a lot of sense with all the faces winning this way. And Mysterio, Kingston, and Morrison thought it all worked very right. As he said, it was a great opener to the card and with a lot of pretty good stuff in there. Second matchup, we had Sheamus versus Mark Henry. In this matchup, building up of Sheamus' heel run, or face run coming in here that he just turned here, and Mark Henry just totally brutalizing everybody, just beating the crap out of everybody. And this one had a little slow start here. Really just Mark Henry dominating the entire time and not really getting too much time here, and then going into that spot towards the outside where he threw him up against the post, and then they just ran through the crowd, and you know everybody loved that spot and really got a good pop there, and it was pretty crazy stuff, and then it ended in a count-out and Mark Henry getting the win there and continuing that push and keeping on winning there.
yeah, you know, I think this had some good storytelling to it. The match was, you know, primarily, you know, one guy is a badass and the other guy's a badass, and they're basically trying to, you know, out-badass each other. And that's pretty much how this came over, and, you know, the bigger badass, I guess, of this right now, kind of, I guess he got the better end of it, you know, with the slam through the whatever that is, the barricade on the outside, and that just was a disgusting pop. You see the guy, people in the front row just freaking out like they just saw somebody just die, and the security guy just ran.
He was like, grenade just went off.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah.
But you know, and a count out here, and Marker getting the win. You know, at least making, you know, Sheamus not get pinned, which is leaving him, you know, okay as well going into the future and possibly continuing this, seeing what they're gonna do. So I mean, an okay thing here, but not skippable. I think this was, you know, something that is pretty much just a one-spot match, but if you follow all the way through to the spot, it's worth it watching it, so that's what I think.
Next matchup, we had the Divas title on the line with champion Kelly went up against Beth Phoenix.
You know, I was talking about, you know, keep getting me interested in women's wrestling with WWE again. You know, I didn't take a piss during this. You know, I watched it. And this was, I felt like in this match, I felt like they wanted to, you know, actually show what they could do. Kelly looking a lot better than she used to. Beth, you know, doing her thing. I think this is a really good storyline if they continue to do it. I really thought, you know, I was like, man, Beth Phoenix winning this, that would be, you know, the right move. But Kelly hadn't had the title for very long, so I was thinking maybe she would keep it. But, you know, Beth Phoenix going for the glam slam thing, and then Kelly rolling under and getting the pin on her, you know, kind of not like Beth Phoenix, you know, or Kelly winning like dominantly, just kind of sneaking the pin, grabbing the title, and running out of there. So, I mean, you know, this is probably going to continue. One of the better women's matches I've seen in a while on a pay-per-view. So, I mean, this was decent and not skippable either. So, I mean, you know, so far you're looking at a pretty solid SummerSlam coming up. So
this dynamic was really great in storytelling in this match of the kind of the quicker and more agile Kelly against the powerhouse of Beth Phoenix, and they really got that over in this match, and I really thought it came through very well. You know, Kelly, as he said, looking way more impressive than we've seen as of, you know, a week ago. It looks like she's just, you know, improved over the past week, and you know, as he said, that it's more. It's better to even. It feels like there's a reason for the Divas title now. It seems like there's something that they could build towards, and something, an angle in a storyline that they could really start, you know, building to and continuing here with Kelly, and not just Beth Phoenix. You could do throw Natalya in there, throw an Eve in there also, but Kelly looking very impressive, and Beth Phoenix looking, you know, great as well. And that roll-up win was pretty good, and actually a pretty good Divas match on SummerSlam there. Next matchup, we had Bryan versus Wade Barrett. I really enjoyed this matchup. Wade Barrett in his best match that I've seen in a long time. As I said, Daniel Bryan making him work, and man, he beat the crap out of freaking Wade Barrett in the beginning of this match. Just dominant at the beginning of this, and really seeing a lot of shades of old Daniel Bryan in this matchup, seeing classic moves after classic moves, and just great spot after great spot, and really Daniel Bryan in a bigger limelight and a bigger spotlight to be focused on his talents and focus on this. And you see kind of almost shades of him and almost Nigel McGuinness a little bit. I don't want to say it was to that point, definitely not, but the way that Danielson worked with a European-style guy as Wade Barrett was, and I think that Wade Barrett can improve so much more if he's in the ring with Daniel Bryan there. But Wade Barrett getting the win here, which seemed a little weird, but in a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, this was really good stuff. The match was very good. For me, Daniel Bryan pretty much just did most of the work in this. He was a lot of it was I would probably say 3/4 of this match was a lot of him. Yeah. And Wade Barrett coming countering off of what he was doing. Yeah. And going, you would think that Daniel Bryan would be getting this win off this, but just out of nowhere at the end, Wade Barrett getting a clothesline off the ropes and then the wasteland and then winning this. I don't know what. I guess this is going to continue a feud with these guys. Interested to see where they're going to go with this. And it just did really have that kind of feel like Danielson versus that European type guy, like a Nigel. Like I said, nowhere up to the par of those kind of matches. No. But real fun stuff here. So I mean, hopefully they continue this. I think the Wade Barrett can progressively get better as he wrestles Daniel Bryan. So.
Next matchup, we had the no holds barred match for the World Heavyweight Championship when champion Christian went up against Randy Orton.
No doubt about it, in my mind, this is the best match they've had against each other. Just very, very good stuff. But I'd like to mention, Christian coming out and saying, I got my someone watching my back, and he calls him his best friend. Edge comes out, and you're like, wow, what are they going to do? You're going to set up something with this, set up something with that. And Edge basically just says, you're a bitch. He basically says, you need to, clean up your act here. You won your title off of, DQ. At least I won, when I did my stuff, I had some pizzazz, I had some style. You're just boring. Yeah. And he's like, I love you to death, but you need to figure out what you're doing here, And he just leaves. He's not even going to help Christian.
Just gone.
But I thought I mentioned that. That was huge pop. But Randy Orton and Christian having this match, and this is what I hoped that would be, and it was. It was very good. They used, and it was slow to get into using weapons and this and that. There was table spots. There was improvisation. Obviously, there was some table stuff that broke, and then they fixed it and did some other stuff. Very, very good stuff here. This is exactly what I would have expected. Just one of the best spot in this was obviously the ending. Where Christian was jumping up the middle rope off the, how he does the crossbody or whatever, or over the top does a roll up, and he jumps in. Orton caught him with an RKO onto steel steps. It was just disgusting. We were thinking, no, there's no way he kicks out of that. And Orton won clean. So I mean, I don't know where this is going with Christian, what they're going to do with him, but I guess obviously the plans are for Orton to do something leading up to with the title. So I mean, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Edge here. And like I said this before in the preview, if you heard before, I felt like Edge, his last match, he didn't want it to be against Del Rio, so this could be a lead up to maybe something with Edge for his last match.
It was great to see Edge in this, making his return in here and cutting that promo. I thought it was very interesting. It looked like there could be something definitely leaning down the road to where this could get more involved with that. But into the match, it was just some great stuff. As he said, I felt it was their best match in this feud that they've had. Adding this no hold bar stipulation, finally adding a stipulation to this, really, as I said, it'll make this better and it'll make it feel bigger because it feels different than everything else that it's been in there. Adding the no holds barred stipulation and really getting in there and really getting at it. I mean, it felt like a legit no holds bar match, man. They had like 3 table spots in there. Hit the RKO on the announce table, hit the pushed off of the apron into the table, and then the scoop slam onto the table. So I mean, there was some trash can, DDT, kendo sticks. I mean, they were really all over the place. And it was some really good stuff. These guys just have great chemistry, as we said before. And the only thing that I don't get out of this is the stuff that they're doing with Christian. I really just don't understand it. It doesn't make that much sense. I mean, you let him win the title, and then you get drop it in 5 days. You let him win the title, Money in the Bank, with the stupid DQ stipulation, and then you have him losing the next month. It's like they just can't figure out what they want to do. They want to have this feud, but it's almost like they're forcing it just to make Randy Orton seem like the champion the entire time and not have Christian let that title run keep going, which I thought it would have been great to do. But ending in a great match here, and Randy Orton get the win and then new World Heavyweight Champion. Moving on to the main event, we had the Undisputed WWE Championship match with special referee Triple H between CM Punk and John Cena, with this amazing storyline that's leading into this match, which we knew was just going to be unpredictable and lots of surprises. And in the end, it was just all over the place. But the match overall was good. I don't think it was to the point of the Money in the Bank match, but I think it was some really great stuff. I remember a key part in this match, which was a little groundwork here, where it went from a Koshi clutch from Punk into an STF, into an Anaconda Vice from Punk, and then into a crossface from Cena, which was some great stuff. Really seeing, Cena break out of that, that mold of just working his sort of style, and now, Punk kind of leading these matches and really, kind of gearing towards his more style, and having Cena kind of, work towards that more style instead of the styles that he's used to. But in a pretty good match, and then having just all craziness going down at the end of this matchup, having Punk hit the GTS on Cena with Cena's foot on the rope and counting the 3, and Punk celebrating, and then Kevin Nash comes out and power bombs Punk through the crowd, power bombs Punk, and then Del Rio comes out and cashes in. I mean, can you shove more stuff at the end of this pay-per-view? This is so unpredictable, so crazy, and a really amazing way to end this pay-per-view.
Yeah, if the build-up to this wasn't enough, throughout the whole pay-per-view, you had Stephanie McMahon running around.
Yeah.
Cut a little promo with Punk, which was really funny, good stuff. Going into John Cena's locker room, walking out, you have no idea what they were talking about. And then just being backstage, she's just kind of off to the side talking to Triple H, you know. And she was all over this. And it makes me think that she might be doing a little bit, coming in here as well. But, this is good stuff. I still think this was probably the best match of the night as well. Just slightly above the match before. Not up to the Money in the Bank one. But still, these guys... It's like, chemistry between two guys is just so good. Yeah. I felt like they still wanted to have another a good classic type match, and it was pretty close to being up there with their other one. But the crowd and all the other stuff you have to account in as well.
Exactly.
The crowd for this show was very good, and the one thing I'd like to mention about this show was very good. The segments were very good. Everything they did a truth segment with Jimmy Hart, which was really funny. The performance wasn't bad, but everything else. The whole show, there was nothing really awful or anything bad with this show. This was a very good WWE show, and coming from Money in the Bank to this, this is a good next pay-per-view as well. So if this is what we're going to be getting coming into the future with this regime with Triple H, I'm all for it. Yeah. And had to represent Del Rio. Talking about in the preview, man, he wasn't even on the card, and he's the champion now.
There you go.
That's some good stuff, man.
Yeah. Amazing ending to just an amazing pay-per-view, and Alberto Del Rio, your new WWE champion after all that craziness ensued. This will now wrap up 2011 WWE SummerSlam review. For my partner, Alberto Del Rio N, I am your host, J-Man. Thank you for watching another edition of the Instant Wrestling Report, your source for wrestling news, information, opinions, instantly.
But you already know that.